For those of you who don't know me, my name is Wendy Welts. I'm a licensed realtor in the state of Louisiana. I'm brokered by Exp. I'm also a mom of my daughter Zoe. She's 13, and we have 2 pets. Real estate is something that I do part-time. I work full-time as well. It gets a little hectic at times, but I make it work. I'm not really at that point where I want to try to do real estate full-time just yet, but it is a lot of work. But it can work for you as long as you're pretty organized with your schedule and willing to shift some things around at times. So I wanted to first address the questions that a few people asked me, just DM'd me actually earlier today. And I get this one a lot. So I actually had 2 people that asked this question, and I probably get this question, I would say at least maybe once every other week or so, a couple times a month. This question was from another realtor in California, and she asked me, what do I use to create my graphics? So her first question was, who does my marketing? I do all of my own marketing. I design all my graphics, all videos, anything that you see posted on my social media site. It's been created by myself. I do use Canva Pro. I use it on the computer. I have tried using it on a phone before. After I had already been using it on the computer, and I realized you're very limited to some of the features that they have. But Canva for me has been my go-to in designing open house flyers, Facebook videos, or YouTube videos even. Anything you see on my Instagram, I've created through Canva. There's so many features where you can remove backgrounds, add animation, effects, different things. I do make it a point to have a little variation in the marketing and things that are on my Instagram. So sometimes there may be something that's animated on there. You might not realize it. It gives me the opportunity to see how many views something is getting, because we all know that 500 people can see something and you may get 20 likes or 30 likes. People are in the habit of scrolling in pastime. It doesn't mean that they're actually going to engage or interact. So I do make sure that I mix up the marketing, and I not only post graphics, but that I also post videos. And I've been trying to do reels and even YouTube videos, which I haven't done recently, but I do plan to do more of them, and I plan to do more lives as well. Even if, like I said, you have no one here or 2 people in, I think it's important to show up, and you can always repost at a later date. But yes, I use Canva, and one of the things that I found important is branding yourself while you're using Canva. Minimize the amount of fonts you're going to use, select what your colors are going to be for your brand, stick to those, and it will create a cohesive look. But if you're using different colors every time you design something, your marketing isn't really going to stand out. So that's just been something that has worked for me. It's easy. I can do it myself. If anyone wants help, feel free to send me a DM and asking me to show you a few things. I really don't mind sharing what I know. And batch creating. I do batch create. So if you follow a lot of content providers or just content creators, they will always tell you to batch create, batch create. Batch create is setting aside time to create more than one graphic or more than one piece of marketing and saving it. So I usually either Saturday evenings or Sunday mornings, I'll get up and sit in front of my computer. And when I sit in front of my computer, I sit there prepared. Phone, charger, snack, drink, whatever it is. And I sit there for a couple of hours and I'll create for the week. Or sometimes I create when I have free time, just in case one day I'm like, I need to post something and I don't have anything to post. I can go in that library. In addition to batch creating, I also schedule my content that I post. So I use an app called Sked. You can use Sked from your phone or your computer. It's like $25 a month, and you can plan out your posts. So you can save templates, you can save signatures, because I know it gets aggravating when you're trying to leave that same signature of name, phone number, address, broker name, city that you're licensed in. So you can create a template through Sked, and you can copy and paste that template every time you're scheduling to post something. It's so easy, because if you're going on vacation or you just don't want to be glued in front of the computer or on your phone for the next few days, just schedule your post, and that it does the work for you. You can just kind of autopilot and forget about it. For me, that's important because I have other things going on at work, and I have my daughter, and I'm always moving around. So I don't really spend that much time on social media as what it may look, because I don't have it. So if you can set aside a little time to just batch create, I promise you it makes things a lot easier. Another question someone asked me is, do I work with out-of-town buyers? And the answer is yes, I do work with out-of-town buyers. So one of the things that makes viewings for me easier when I have out-of-town buyers is I use my GoPro. So the reason I use the GoPro is because the pictures are clearer and they're more stable. So a lot of times you can see some people do videos or showings or walkthroughs and the camera phones are very shaky, they're blurry, you just never know. But I use the GoPro and it's pretty easy. I'll walk through a home with it, and then when I'm done, I can go in the app on my phone and import all the images from the camera and allow it to create an edit for me. And then I usually send that link to my buyer. So this is an easier way to do it because I can create a video that's 3-4 minutes long, really capturing all details, and it doesn't take a whole lot of time to send to them. A lot of times I use WhatsApp because if you're sending a video to a client right through your iPhone, or if you're going iPhone to Android, or however you're sending it, it will be pixelated, but this way it'll show crisp, clear. You can even update it to your Google Drive. Sometimes I update the videos to my Google Drive. I share the link with them. They can share it with others. But I will say GoPro has been a lot easier to share footage versus just my cell phone. And then the last question I had today from someone was, is it harder working with clients now that interest rates have gone up? Not so much. I think that we have heard so many realtors lately put the word out there that it's still one of the best times to buy a home. So I think that we became spoiled in the last few years where interest rates, you were hearing like 2.8 and 3.2 and, under 4%. So many people were refinancing, and that was a great opportunity for those to buy homes who were ready. But one of the things that I always like to promote is the best time for you to purchase a home is when you're ready to purchase that home. So if 2 years ago you were not ready, you didn't have the money saved up to purchase your first home or your second home or whichever it wasn't the right time for you. So we all know that timing is everything. And I try to tell people to not focus too much on the interest rates, because although they're higher than what they were a couple of years ago, they're still lower than what they've been in recent years. And there will be an opportunity to refinance in the future when interest rates go down. You can save money. You can also speak to your lender about purchasing points that will make your mortgage less. You can speak to your lender about making bi-monthly payments and paying half of your mortgage every 2 weeks versus paying once a month. That also saves tens of thousands of dollars of interest. And there's, you can make a principal payment every now and then if you want to put an extra, whatever it is that you can afford down. In the very beginning of a loan, so much of the payment goes to interest. So if you can make some extra payments in the beginning, you will save a ton of interest in the long run. You might not feel like you're saving money month to month, but in the long run, you can save tens of thousands of dollars and you can make up for what the increases have been. So just focus on when's the right time for you to buy and not so much on what the interest rates are, and make the decision that is best for you. Someone asked about earnest money. So, okay, the earnest money deposit is what you put forth after having your contract accepted. So, of course, step 1 is getting pre-approved. Step 2 is finding your realtor. Step 3, you're going to view homes. When you find the home that you want to put an offer in on, you submit a purchase agreement. Once it's accepted, you have 72 hours to get that earnest money deposit in. Now, it varies from state to state on how much that deposit is. Some people consider an earnest money deposit to be 1%. Here in the New Orleans area, I've held deposits on homes that were $500 or $1,000 or $1,500 or $2,000. Of course, a seller is going to consider a deposit that's a little bit more, a stronger offer. So that's something to keep in mind. Every contingency within a contract can be countered from the listing agent. So if you submit a contract and say you want to give a $500 earnest money deposit, the listing agent can come back and request $1,000 or $1,500 or $2,000. That earnest money deposit is credited to your closing costs. So it's not an extra fee. You do get that money credited toward your closing, or you can tell the title company to issue you a check back that day. And you will lose the earnest money deposit if you do not cancel your contract within your inspection period days. So if you ask for 10 days inspection period, and that's for you to complete your inspections, do all your research, and you decide for whatever reason you want to cancel the contract, if you cancel within your 10 days, you will get your earnest money deposit back. But if you cancel outside of that inspection period, then you don't get your earnest money deposit back. And thank you for joining me today, and I will chat with you soon.